Hello, welcome to a new video of the course. After having started our node exporter within the Fedora server, we return to Prometheus server to configure the target, so that, from this moment on, Prometheus will automatically request statistics from the node exporter every 15 seconds, which is the time we have configured in the configuration file. So, let's modify this file. Let's edit it with 6prometheus.yml. Once inside, remember that we have the interval script at 15 seconds. We are going to leave it like this. If I go down, remember that we had the static config block, where we could put the targets. I am going to specify that the target is the Fedora server where I have started the node exporter. The port is 9100, which is where it is listening through. I copy and paste the address, and add port 9100, which is where our node exporter is collecting the statistics. Let's save the file. To start, we just have to put the command /Prometheus. As you can see, I am starting it manually. You can also put this as a service within systemd, but I'll leave that task to you, because it depends on the operating system where you are configuring it. I start it, and if everything is correct and I don't have any errors in the configuration file, it will start working and collecting statistics. I'm going to open a browser, because in this case, Prometheus, as I mentioned at the beginning of the theoretical part, has a web UI, that is, it has a web pager that we can use to manage it. It is not very good when it comes to visualizing graphic information, but we can see some things. If we write http://localhost 9090, it should open a web page. Here, I will be able to add and view visualization panels in a way similar to GRAFANA. We have alerts, graphs, status and health options at the top. If I go to status, where I can find certain things to check if everything is correct, here I have the targets option. If I select the option, I can check if the target is working. You see that, indeed, it has the IP address that is listening through 9100, through the metrics URL, and it is up. It is informing me about the last scrape, when was the last time it made a request to recover information, as well as the labels it has set. You see that it has set the job to Prometheus and the instance to the IP address. Remember that, within the Prometheus configuration file, we had a job called Prometheus. So, if we go back to Graph again, we will see that here it is not showing anything. Indeed, it is showing nothing because I have not given it any metric. If I come here, I can add metrics of different types that are being exported to me, in this case, for example, this Fedora machine. If I write the text memory, you see that by default it gives me a list of those metrics that contain the word memory. For example, if I choose node memory bytes, which are the bytes of free memory that remain, and click the execute button, the specific data will be displayed in table mode, which is not very manageable for me. However, I can view it in graphical mode. Although it is not wonderful, the tool has this mode, and here I can see a graph that shows me the free memory that this server has had over time. Below we can see the label that is being used, which in this case is memfree_bytes. I can add a new panel. And here I can indicate another metric. For example, if I put CPU and select this one, node CPU seconds total. Of course, I have to know exactly what this metric is for it to give me any correct results. So if I select graph, it's going to show me the data returned by this metric that's happening since statistics are being collected. Some of you will wonder what this pause here means, this break the two panels have. It's basically because I was testing before making the video, stopping and starting the Fedora machine. So there is a breaking point where it's not collecting statistics. Well, I think that with this you will already have a clear idea of how to work with Prometheus when integrating it with exporters. We are going to see, in the following video, how to integrate it with GRAFANA.